Hi, I'm overcaffeinated and ready to do this video. Okay, I'm gonna be reading you some poetry out of some of these books I recently purchased. This one is called Autobiography of a Wound by Bryn Rebel Henry, and I'm obsessed with her. She is like a very young poet, and she won the Adroit Prize, if that means anything to you. She's produced a couple of books, I think 2 poetry books and a novel, and I got this and I just wanted to read it, so I thought it'd be fun to share. And this one is called Calling a Wolf a Wolf, and I will link both of these down below in case you're interested. And I also wanted to show you guys this journal of High Shelf Press. It's the October issue, I believe, and I'm featured in it, so I thought I would read one I'm featured in, and I wanted to show you the art because there's some great photography in here. So we can just get started. This is High Shelf. They're based out of Portland, Oregon. I will also leave a link to this one. This is the October 2019. And here, I think this lighting might be good to show you. So, I think this looks like a Ken doll. Kinda, do you see the... Yeah. And there's these little... Ooh, this is pretty. So this is a journal I'm published in, and they're very, very nice people. These photos are my favorite. Let me see. I'm gonna read you her biography, but she does these little like clay creations, and then she sets up like little scenes for them and then takes photos of them, so it's like very labor intensive. But if you can see this lighting here, wait, if that's any better. Just Fruit Loops, and you can see her expression. It's like here, kind of lackadaisical and tortured. And then this looks like a rooster on heroin eating eggs. There's a touch of irony there. And this fox in kind of like a whimsical Alice in Wonderland type of setting. And those are my favorite out of this one. There's also these really cool, just a lot of photography and just like touched up photos here. So that one, the little caricatures, I'm trying to find the biography. Let's see, what's the name? Jada Fabrizio. So let's read about Jada. Is she in the beginning or the middle? And these people, I just get so happy whenever I'm published in a journal because it's in order of appearance. Here, wait. Okay, I found it. But these people are just like from all over the world. There's a essayist residing in Tokyo, Japan, and then a Dutch poet. So these are all like very inclusive. Queer artists born in Vancouver, people studying philosophy and creative writing, people born in Los Angeles. So it's just a nice, healthy bunch of people. All artists that just get to express their work, and this place gives them, an outlet to share their art, which is very important. It's very important. It's a good thing, a good place for artists to have a platform. Okay, so Jada Fabrizio is passionately committed to storytelling. She's an enthusiastic watcher of light and its effect it has on form. When she is not building sets in her studio or sculpting a creature for her photo series, she plays classical guitar and does freelance photography for medical institutions. Born in Queens, New York, her formal education began at SUNY New Paltz, where she studied creative writing and later photography at the School of Visual Arts in New York City. Jada emphasizes the importance of capturing emotional experiences by not telling the complete story. She says it allows others to feel the photograph in their own way. She goes on to say, I want the spectator to look at my photographs and experience their own reality through them. So those are the ones with the Fruit Loops and the chicken, the rooster. I really like that guy. And these ones are my favorite. And the Alice in Wonderland fox. I really hope you guys can see. This lighting is weird. Okay, so let's read. I already filmed this video once, like this exact video, but I had issues with my microphone. But there is this one I just was like browsing through and I read it and I really liked it. I want to reread that one for you, and hopefully this video works out. Just flip through it. This one. Yeah, this one about the rats. Okay. I've noticed that like rats are a reoccurring like image in this journal, maybe because it's October and October is kind of a, I don't want to say spooky. I want a better word than that. Like a kind of tortured month, sort of a dark, whimsical type of month. So my poem has the image of rats, and so does this one. This one is called Milk Bags Reserved for Human Children by Florina Nastes. I think that's how you say it. Nastes? I don't know. I'm gonna read it. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I most definitely did. Okay. Milk bags reserved for human children. In the mirror, the handsome rat smirks and licks his protruding lip, biting me to do the same. And I oblige, as I bring my head close, press my cheek against the vanity, so that his little adhesive tongue slips into my ear, whispering about the babies he hatched inside me, the nursling rats nestled and nesting between my breasts, gnawing on the milk bags reserved for human children, gnawing until they break the bags and I cry, milk and there are no children anywhere. I move my head away from the mirror and see the rat still smirking, malevolent, wishing he could outlive me, watch me grow old. But every other month he dies, I see him, deflating like a carnival toy, and a new rat greets me in the morning, accusing me of trying to make their whole race extinct. I just don't like being an animal, I tell him. I don't want to have things grow inside me, even as they reflect me, even as I'm reflected in them. I'd like to throw away the bags. I'd like to let the milk boil over the stove, curl up like smoke. I'd like that smoke to feed me. No, I'd like that smoke I'd like that smoke to feed no one. I'd like to be the mirror, the cold surface between one rat and the other. You know, sometimes maternal longing can get very gray and conflicting. Like gray milk. Okay, we're gonna read this one. It's On Memory, Molly OLeary. Lukewarm beer, tinny and prickly, on my tongue at 8 years old. My sister and I used to steal sips a film when Dad turned around to kiss the other goodnight in one of his better moods. We would listen for footfalls measured and sharp like the drawing of blood and hurriedly bury ourselves under blankets before he threw open the door in one of his other moods. Through a small space in the covers we could glimpse each other's fate. Memory is slippery like a spill on the floor that I rush to cover up because being someone's child carries consequences. Of all my children, I thought you would have it in your heart to forgive me. You were the most like your mother. Jesus Christ. These poems are so good. I don't know how mine got approved. Okay. Ooh. This one's pretty. Yeah. It's kind of like a Monet. Okay, let's read my one. I'll just give it a look. Give it a perusal. My poem is called My Body's Made of Shatters. And it goes, you ask me if I think humans look foreign as you leave rats' heads and dead roses on my doorstep. Those months where we went crazy with blood-flavored religion. Drum beats like miles for answers, the underworld in my brain tissue. Heavenly angel give me chills like a broken pencil sharpener. Oh mama, they keep messing with my head. Oh mama, show me what I should do instead. Is it my fault or the men's that I'm beautiful in a dirty way? This song is not. I'm not listening to this. Not this one. Okay, this one. I'm sorry. Let me go back a few lines. Is it my fault or the men's that I'm beautiful in a dirty way? You are a life and it's fascinating, she tells me. But deep down I know I'm all and only flat beer and fried nerve endings. She tells me blisters and begging will make modern divinity taste sweeter. That my only God should be my higher self, but percentages stain my teeth. I belong wherever terrorists and overly sexual babysitters go. They'll never get their daughter back. She lost all her innocence when the Beatles started making her sad. Or maybe when she realized a spoonful of sugar makes cheap wine go down. Or maybe when she got in the habit of hearing I love you from 4 different men at the same time. I hate to be the first to admit it, but no amount of whiskey is going to help me figure out where we go when we die. No matter how many spoonfuls of anorexia I slurp, I still have no God. No amount of highs will stop the thoughts from intruding. No amount of showers I take at a stranger's house will get me clean. I can't help but wonder if I'll corrupt under gray or gold. So that's my poem. This is cool. I don't know if I showed you guys this one. This kind of deformed, tortured body. In a foyer. So that's that journal, and you can purchase it, I believe, through the website if you want to have this for yourself. If you want to have a good coffee table book and good poems to read through. And this one, I'm gonna read my favorite poem out of this one. There's a lot of good ones, but I don't know if it's not the best poem. It's just the one that stuck out to me the most. This one is about alcoholism. Alcoholism? Yep, that's how you say it. And kind of, this is the one. A lot of like, here. It's portrait of the alcoholic with withdrawal, calling a wolf, impatient, drink aware, self-report, portrait of the alcoholic with home invader and housefly. So it's like, it kind of does revolve around that mental process and the inner psyche of addicts and alcoholics. And Portrait of the Alcoholic with a Relapse Fantasy. I'm gonna read this one. Okay, this one's called Portrait of the Alcoholic with Relapse Fantasy. You're in a car and crying and amazed at how bad it feels to do bad things. Then you're in a hotel room with blood on your undershirt and the smell of a too-chlorinated pool outside. You know 100 ways to pray to the gods, rippling beneath the water, confess, tangle, pass through. Once your room is dark, they come inside, dripping wet. When you show them the burnt place on your arm, they show you the bands of flesh cut from their thighs. You suck their tongues, trace the blisters under their wings. It's so lucky, this living forever all at once. When you turn on the lights, you're inconsolably glad. You could stop this whenever, but why? I really like that one. It paints such a picture. I love the imagery in hotel rooms. I think they have just, certain places. I have this coworker, and she had this fucked up dream about, and she's really not the type to have fucked up dreams, but she did, and she told me about it. She was all excited. She had this ecstatic look on her face, and she's like, guess what? I'm like, what? And she's telling me this dream of how she murdered everyone in this abandoned hospital. I don't know how she murdered everyone, and yet it was simultaneously abandoned. But it was all, very clean and white. And that's what her dream. And then she went back to this motel room, and she says she's never even stayed at a motel. And just, I don't know what she did at the motel room, but I know it was, the duality of a hospital murdering spree in a motel room. And I think hospitals and the motels, they just produce such strong feelings and images. And so she wants to write a short story about that, and I think she should really go for it. Because when, certain environments just have certain emotional responses. And I just feel like motels and hospitals just really invoke emotional responses. So I think I'm excited. She says she's going to show me a draft. So what was I even doing? Okay. I don't know. We're going to go back. We're going to read this one. This one's called Some Boys Aren't Born, They Bubble. This is the one I was talking about, the one I liked. Some boys aren't born, they bubble. Up from the earth's crust, land safely around kitchen tables, green globes of fruit already in their mouths. When they find themselves crying, they stop crying. These boys moan. More than other boys, they do desire demands. When they dance, their bodies plunge into space and recover. The music stays in their breastbones. They sing songs about storms, then dry their shoes on porches. These boys are so cold, their pilot lights never light. They buy the best heat money can buy, blue flames, swamp smoke. They are desperate to lick and be licked. Sometimes one will eat all the food in a house or break every bone in his jaw. Sometimes one will disappear into himself like a ram charging a mirror. When this happens, they all feel it. Afterwards, the others dream of rain, their pupils boil. They light black candles and pray the only prayer they know. O Lord, spare this body, set fire to another. So you can definitely buy this book. You can find it anywhere online. Maybe if you're lucky, they'll have it in a bookstore. I think you might maybe find this in bookstores. Because he was published in the New Yorker, and his poems appear in PBS NewsHour, the New Yorker, Tin House. This is his. Yeah, he has a chapbook, Portrait of the Alcoholic. But this is his poetry book, Calling a Wolf a Wolf. And he currently lives in Florida, which is pretty cool. Florida also invokes a lot of imagery, I think. And I'm reading a Jack Kerouac book right now. And they're always like, we're gonna pack up everything and move to New York or move to Paris or move to Florida. And it's just like those, it's just funny. Florida's one of those places. I think of it especially like old time Florida, like Florida in the 50s when the book was written, 1953, prime Kerouac days. It's got like a old seaside glamour to it. I don't think Florida has old seaside glamour anymore. They're so funny. Florida's a party state, you know. Yeah, because it's summer all the time, and when it's summer all the time, it's just evokes wild sensations. Okay, we're gonna read this one. I don't know why I'm so manic in this video. I really don't. I really don't. I think I had a latte and a really large iced coffee today, and it's just really kicking in. So this one is called Autobiography of a Wound by Bryn Rebel Henry, and I'm gonna read this one. Let's see the title. This one, oh, is this all one? Yeah. Let's see. No, we're just gonna read a section of this one. Okay. I never say no, so I always have some girl's lipstick in my teeth. We teach each other how to love someone else for more than a night, how to swallow a girl's silt cum until our throats close up with it. I go to her church with cum in my hair, and we drink vodka, and I let her cut into the insides of me with her fingers. She says it feels like she's fucking an angel. Like I'm a girl resurrected, like I'm already dead and nobody even had to kill me. Poets have exquisite vocabularies. I'm still trying to catch up. Let's see. What's the one about eating butter? I think you know someone's damaged when they just start eating sticks of butter. Because I know someone who does. And she writes about eating sticks of butter. I think that's just like a thing, like people do, like poetically tortured people do. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna read this one. This one's called Self-Biography as a False Saint. Dear Catherine, I know why you swallowed only cancer pus, why you whipped your skin until all that was left of your ribcage was muscle and bone. Once I saw Jesus, she was a blood mouth. Once I hit my head on concrete and saw saints, oranges, dizzy blood. My skull almost split like a cleaved fruit. To be taken seriously, a woman has to become nothing but a wound. Once I wanted to be fleshless, like a hawk, nothing but bones and wings. When you stopped menstruating, they called you an angel. Oh, Catherine, don't you know? Sorry, something rumbled. Oh, Catherine, don't you know blood and bones are the only holy things left? Don't you know your ribcage is a false prayer? I might have to put a trigger warning because this whole chapbook, this whole poetry book, I don't want to say romanticizes, but definitely poetically writes about anorexia. And sometimes, and I really don't blame the artist, because I've read this whole thing and I've read it twice and I've annotated it. And when you write about mental illness, Sometimes you have no choice. Like when you write poetry about mental illness, sometimes you have no choice but to make it glimmery and glittery and pretty, because it's like you're suffering from it. To beautify it is like the only way to cope with it. Okay, I'm gonna read one more. This video is way longer than I wanted it to be. I don't know how. I've just rambled on and on. I wanna find the sticks of butter one. Okay. Okay. Okay, I wanna read this one. Okay. The Brief Life of a Girl. When my mouth was a wound, I was always fucking. When I wasn't bleeding. We're gonna start that over. It's one sentence. There's like no punctuation in this fucking poem. Okay. Take 2. When my mouth was a wound, I was always fucking when I wasn't bleeding. I was bruising when I was beautiful. I learned how to suck in my stomach until it was nothing but ribs. I learned how to drink only water mixed with vinegar, but wasn't interested. Instead, I gorged on sugar and let girls fuck me in the ass. Once I only wore red. Once a girl said I was so beautiful it made her ill. And I kissed her and left wounded rouge on her mouth, and her mother took my picture. And once I learned how to get on my knees, I very rarely got back up. So these poems are a bit transgressive, and that's what I fucking love about it. I love transgressive poetry. A lot of imagery about like blood and red lipstick and bones and oranges and milk. And I don't know what theme it's trying to convey. Like, I know what theme it's trying to convey, obviously, but I don't know what, like, oranges and milk and blood symbolize. Maybe I'm not there yet. Okay. I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna stop the video here. I will link all 3 of these poetry books in case you guys are interested in checking them out and buying them for yourself. I hope that this video was fun for you. I hope you got to experience some art that you liked, and I piqued your interest in these works of poetry. Kitty wants to say hi. There's a cat. Wait. She might come. Hey, say hi. Get in the video. She doesn't want to. She doesn't like to be touched. She might. Sorry. It's a black cat. Here, I'll just show you. There's the cat. Okay. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, but I hope reading these, maybe relax you, maybe blossom some artistic curiosity in you. I don't know. But I will post videos when I get around to it. I don't have a consistent uploading schedule, but I have other videos of me reading my own poems. And I might just make this an artistic channel. We talk about photography and poems and fiction. You can come on this poetic writing journey that is my life. It'll be fun. Okay. Good. See you next time.